This is Muscle Central. I'm Michael Diamond. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and leave a comment. Okay, this disagreement, if you would, between Milos Sarcev and Patrick Tuor continues. Yeah, this all started when Patrick Tuor was on the Menace Podcast, Dennis James, Milos Sarcev, Chris Cormier. I think Dennis's intentions when he got Patrick on the podcast, he wanted to ask about Big Ramy. There was talk going around that with Big Ramy's return to the stage, that Patrick Tuor was working with them. And I think that was the real intent of getting him on the podcast. At some point after that, Milos mentioned to Patrick about a show that he prepped him for, I believe it was in the early 2000s, and Patrick totally denies it, says, you must have me mixed up with someone else. And Dennis James even said to Milos, Milos, you work with a lot of people. Maybe you are a little mixed up with this. Maybe it was someone else. And he questioned Milos. All right, the show's over. At some point after, they talk privately, and Milos tells Dennis these other things. Now, on the following podcast, Dennis makes his public apology to Milos for doubting him. And he's like, well, these things you told me, why didn't you say it is? When in a previous podcast, when Patrick was denying that you work with him, and Milos was like, I don't want to be confrontational. And he even said that he has there was a mutual friend that introduced Patrick to Milos. And according to Milos, this mutual friend is willing to come on the podcast and tell what really transpired. And Milos also relates the story leading up to the actual contest. The week before the final prep week leading into the show, by Wednesday, Patrick is telling him how crappy he feels and he's not happy with the way he looks. So Milos convinces him, it's the process. Just stick with the process, you'll be fine. And then how he contacts him the next day, Thursday, and he's telling him he's feeling better and he's looking better. And by Friday, and then he ends up, so they say, for that show, the best shape he's ever showed up to for a contest. Milos is being very, very specific about these things. Obviously, either word got back to him or he watched the podcast himself. Patrick Tuor wanted to come back on again and just to clarify things. And he said maybe the way I said things, maybe I used the wrong words. He tried to smooth things over a little bit. Like when he tells Milos, you must have me mixed up with someone else. He's not denying that he met Milos. He said he was very honored to meet Milos because of his reputation in the sport, and he was very grateful for him because he talked to him and he told him a lot of things, and he shared a lot of information with him that down the line helped him. He's considered one of the top coaches right now. But he said he's very grateful for that, but he never followed his instruction for a contest. So if that's what he considers coaching, fine. Now Milos, well, I've seen him get into very passionate debates with people because they have different viewpoints on certain things. And maybe they'll come to an agreement at some point, or they'll come to a point where they're not going to come to an agreement and they'll move on to the next topic and everything is fine and nobody's angry. Milos actually seemed angry at this point. He's like, what are you calling me a liar? That what I said the week up to the show, Wednesday, when you felt like shit and you tell me you look like shit, I'm telling you it's the process, all that never happened, you're calling me a liar. And when the scenario Milos described, the way Patrick's side of it, listen to Patrick, totally denying that, he didn't say in specific words to Milos, you are a liar, but you're saying, that's exactly what you're saying. You're calling him a liar. Milos was really angry. Then Milos lets him know that we have a mutual friend that introduced you to me. Do you want to talk to him? You want me to bring him on the show? And of course, Patrick has no response to that. I don't think these two are likely to ever break bread. But it's inevitable they are going to come across each other at contests. They're going to most likely at points have clients going up against each other in the same show. It's going to be interesting. I'm sure when they pass each other at the next show that they pass each other at, there's not going to even be a glance at each other. I don't know why it actually had to come to this. I don't doubt Milos's version of the story. I don't see any reason for him to lie. He's worked with a lot of people, and a lot of people will openly tell you they work with him. And you know what? He worked with a lot of people without even charging them, just because of his passion for bodybuilding. I totally believe that what Milos's account of the story is accurate. He has a mutual friend, the one who introduced them to each other, willing to come on and discuss this and say what actually happened. And just the way the look on Patrick's face and the way he responded doesn't come forth as being very forthright. It's sad that two respected, I believe that both, Milos has been in this industry for a long time, highly respected. I think Patrick has been respected by a lot of people in this industry also. I don't know if this will change anybody's feelings towards him, but it's a shame because you got two very well-respected people going at it like this, and one has to wonder why Patrick would even want to deny any of this. Is there some hidden resentment he's harboring from Milos? I don't know, but it's a shame to see it happen in the industry. Okay, if you agree or disagree with anything I've said, let me know in the comments section. This is Michael Diamond. I'd like to thank you for watching Muscle Central.